you're a very supportive person. Can you draw on any experiences you might have or that you know of to sort of offer some words of encouragement to those people? Why would they want to get into testing and tech?
Yeah, it's a very good point, and it's testing itself is kind of, exactly why. What and the first of all, why would you start at tech level? And the way that the world's going is so. We thought that the world was tech led before. Nowadays, it's going to be exponentially. It's going to grow. So it's almost. I've got my two children at school. I'm saying to them, they talk about the handwriting and the arithmetics, but for me, it's all about digital skills first.
So right. You are so right.
First. You need to kind of, yes, their teachers saying, yeah, you need to remember and about all these formulas and calculations. I was like, well, hang on a minute. I'm of the believer of you need to know where to get the answer. So it's like you go back to the whole, and controversially, the ISTQB, and how can you remember the components of it? Well, actually, for me, it's all about knowing where to get information. So, and actually being tech aware, I think that's the key. Being aware of tech and actually is actually, I think, in everyone's interest. And it's such an exciting time anyway in terms of technology. If you drill down to testing, I think you hit the nail on the head, Beth, the community. Why would you get into testing? Mainly, I would say because the test community has to be one of the best, if not the best test community out there. Absolutely. Inspirational. And I mean this in the best way possible. I often feel that small in a good way, because I follow people on Twitter, and it's like, I've had the privilege, I'll name check him again for the fourth time, Lee Rathbone. I met Lee Rathbone before. I followed Dan Ashby and actually met these people at conferences, the communities out there. I also think, why would you get to testing? It's like, it's such, so I'm not a developer by background. I can't code at all. I tried to do some Cypress this year. I give it a go. It's quite, I've got so far. So I've come in from a non-developer background. I've come in from customer services, from the user. I think actually I really like where I've come from. So for people who are, there might be a perception of testing, you need to be a developer to get into it. Absolutely no way. You kind of, that's one career path. But we're all testers in many ways in terms of what we all got our phones, and you think we're all aware of the NHS app and the challenges with that currently, or, we're all testers whether we know it or not. And actually knowing that you can actually apply that, and actually, let's be perfectly honest, we all do it to earn some money and give something back. And actually, and the ability to, the joy of actually finding a bug. If you say to someone, what's testing about? And you say, right, go find a bug. And the pure joy of finding the bug and actually explaining that to the business, and it is actually, they don't tell you in the textbooks of that. They say testing is, we need to shift left, etc., etc. But it's actually, the whole area is shifting towards quality. So it's quality leadership, quality assurance. So I would say, to say to everyone, get into testing, because if you can explain, if you can articulate yourself of anything, that makes you as good as tester to explain the risks and actually become an advocate. And actually, from people who can code, and I'm not taking any offense, people who can code are brilliant superstars. I worked with one at absolutely great, but we went together really well. So he was a technical guy. I was a guy, as you all find out, can talk for England about testing. Between us, to answer your question, I think there's a place for everyone in testing, whether you're kind of want to go down to the detail, or you want to become an evangelist, or ultimately it's all about quality. And I'm as closer to the customer in mindset than other people. So I would like to say it's a great to start. And let's be perfectly honest, as testers, if you were to go and learn development, it's a great pathway into other areas as well. So it's all interchangeable. You have people coming into testing, but testing is also a pathway into other areas. If you then do it agile testing and
or
make
business analyst or product owner, or there's so many doors that it opens up. I completely agree.
And I think we need to break out the silos. It's great. We need to go to testing and say testing and devs. But I think actually if we move towards engineering, I think it's becoming it's an interchangeable role, but still the danger of that is testers become, it's just, we don't never forget the role of testers and quality in it. So
I think sometimes if it's everyone's responsibility, then it becomes no one's responsibility, doesn't it? And
absolutely.
I think we'll learn that the hard way, in the same way we've learned that offshoring doesn't always necessarily produce the right results. I think we'll maybe learn that with
it'll all come full circle. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think testing, sometimes I have to kind of sort of shake myself and say, because I find myself naturally, I'll go on an app or a website and I'll think, oh, it doesn't work. This thing doesn't work. Or why is it giving me that information? It doesn't need to. Or I can't buy this thing. And naturally, my instinct is always, well, get in touch with them on Twitter, usually not publicly, but I'll message them and say, did you know it was doing these things? And I do like free UX reviews for companies all the time because I care that they can be good companies and they're doing the right thing by their customers. And they're always like super happy to hear kind of advice like that. And I think if you've got that mindset of, it's not about nitpicking, it's not about telling people that they're wrong, it's about making the quality better, just making it better for everybody. And you are the sort of natural person that wants to do that. You want to make things better. Like it's a bit of a sad story, but when I used to play, have you ever played The Sims?
I have a while ago, actually. Yes, yeah,
Right.
where you create your own virtual kind of
Create
city.
your own virtual world, and you can give people, jobs, or you can. The idea is that they grow and grow.
Yeah.
I used to play that with my brother, and he was quite mean, and all the Sims had these terrible lives, and he'd make them like, he just wanted them to fail, and I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Mentally, I was like, they all have to have the most amazing careers, and they have to have everything that they want in life. And that's the mindset that I bring to whatever product that I work on, whatever company that I work for. You want it to be the best. You graft, you're willing to put the graft in to make it the best. And I think that's a good thing for a tester to have, just that awareness of quality and just thinking like a customer. And anyone can do that.
And that's absolutely, Beth, you hit the nail on the head. Anyone can do it, and I think testing itself, once you specialize in it, the world's your oyster, honestly. But anyone can get started on it. That's the beauty of testing. If you can ask questions, that for me is one of my what I think it's a top skill a tester can have at the moment. And I spoke to other people. If you can ask questions, there we go. That you're a tester straight away. Be it asking questions of the software, of a process, of anything. So that's how you start in testing. So that's the beauty of it. You can there's a part for anybody in testing.
Fantastic. That's excellent. Right, we'll wrap up there then, I guess, Simon. Thank you very much for having a chat with me today.
Oh, no, thank you, Beth. It's been really great. And actually, I think we might have said this at the start or even before the call. It's weird at this time last year, probably to the day, actually, that I said I need to do more public speaking. And apologies if I said this at the start. This actually is ending the year perfectly for me by doing public speaking. So